Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Appraisal IQ podcast, your go-to podcast for all things real estate. I'm your host, Orlando Masis, and today we have an exciting topic in store for you. Today I'm going to share with you 3 tips to help you price your listings so you'll never have appraisal issues. The real estate market is constantly evolving, and understanding the factors that influence property values is crucial for both home buyers and sellers. So in this episode, we'll dive into some of the key elements that are shaping the current real estate landscape in your neighborhood. But before we get started, I'd like to remind our listeners to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. Also, if you find this content valuable, don't forget to share it with your friends and family. All right, let's jump right in. Today, we'll be looking at how to look for comps as a real estate appraiser. So if you're a realtor, even a mortgage broker, and you have access to the MLS, today we're going to be looking at what to do and how to do it so you'll never have any issues. So we're going to jump right into the screen, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do. One of the things that you actually want to do when you're looking for properties and how to actually price your listing, you want to be looking at what the market has done, and then you can look at what the active listings are. So we want to look at, first of all, properties that are closed. Actually, sorry. So what we want to do is we're looking for closed sales. This will give us the best data indicating what your property should be listed for. So we want to look at 6 months back. So that's 180 days, just like an appraiser would. Okay. Next thing that we want to do is, in this example, we're going to be looking for comps for a property that's 2,500 square feet. Now, as an appraiser, we have guidelines we go by, and you want to look at a variance of 20%. So the way we can bracket the actual property. So if the property is 2,500 square feet, now we want to look at the 80%. Okay, so we're going to be looking at homes from 2,000 square feet to, of course, 1.2 to 3,000 square feet. So our comps should be somewhere between that. So we're bracketing the value of the property. In other words, we have enough sales here that are smaller and enough sales here that are larger. We want to come somewhere in between those, and we get a better picture of the market. So let's say, for example, our neighborhood. You're going to be looking at in your MLS if you have access. Look at any neighborhood. So I'm going to pick a neighborhood here, and this one is called Terra Vista, which is in Round Rock, in the Round Rock area. And okay, so here we go. Now we are getting a result with 38 matches, and let's say we're going to be looking at only single-story homes, and that's giving me a total of 19 matches. Now we can look at the results. So this is what's happened for properties of this size. So what we want to do at this point is let's look from the low to the high, see if we have any outliers. Okay, and there are a couple of outliers here that we can actually remove. So we can select all and remove our outliers. So we can remove that one. And now we can look at our stats. So this is going to give us a pretty good idea on what these properties are selling for. So at the high end, we're looking at 600,000. Low end, 400,000, and the median price is 482,500, with a median cost per square foot of $213.63, and the average days on the market 46 days. Now, the square footage. The median square footage is 2,314 square feet. So it's pretty close to our 2,500. So it would be safe to say that our property is going to be somewhere in the high 400s, okay, close to 500. Now, what you want to do at this point, you have a good idea on what to list it for, but the next thing you want to do is to see what the market has actually done in the last 12 months. Is this market declining, or is it increasing? So let's go ahead and take a look. Now we want to go back to our criteria. And instead of 180 days, we want to look at 360 days for the total year. We want to look at actives under contract, pending, anything on hold, anything withdrawn, and everything that is actually expired. We want to put 360 on those, 360 on that. And now we're going to get an actual reading of what's happened in the last 12 months for single-family homes from 2,000 to 3,000 square feet in the Terra Vista neighborhood and single stories, right? So we get our results. In this case, we're going to go ahead, again, remove the outliers. So we want to select all of them. Then remove the outliers on the high end. Okay. And we'll just stay at 600. Okay, now we can go ahead and instead of doing the stats, we're going to refine, we're going to narrow the search or the results. Then we're going to take all of these and go to actions. And then what we want to do is we want to print. And this is something that it's available to everyone that has access to the MLS. Most realtors don't look at this because only appraisers are going to look at this data, right? But this is something that can actually help determine the trends in the neighborhood. So what you want to do is then we go all the way to the bottom there, and you go to 1004 MC report detail. And that's going to give you a really good idea of what the market is doing for that specific property. So you get down all the way to the bottom here. And if you look at this, in the first 6 months, okay, the first half of the 12-month period, there were 11 sales. There were a total of 4 listings that were active during that period of time, with very low inventory, and that's a month's housing supply of 2.18. So this would have been mid-2022, okay? The median comparable closed price was $510,000, right? With the median comparable sales days on the market of 52 days, and the median comparable listing price of $474,960, with a median close price to median list price of 97.14. Now, if you look at the second half of the year, this will be the third quarter, which will be the beginning from February here, okay, to May of 2023, there were only 5 closed sales or comparable sales to the property. The absorption rate is 1.67, and there were a total of 6 active listings at that point, and the months of housing supply was at 3.6. Now, if we look at the current 3 months, which is from May 4th to August 4th, being today, there have been a total of 11 closed sales in an absorption rate of 3.67 and total comparable active listings of 5 and a month's the housing supply at 1.38. So there's been a decline on the housing supply, meaning less listings. As you can see, it actually jumped significantly from 510,000 in the first half to 550,000 being the median comparable closed price in the months of February to May. But then we get a big dip here. More sales, okay, more listings, and we just went from 550,000 to 480,000. So you can see there's been a considerable decline from last year, August of last year, to May through August of this year. Total days on the market, though, has come down to 21 days, and the comparable list price has remained pretty stable. When you can see 474.9 in the first half, 477.5, and 475. Now, the actual close price to list price ratio of 100%. So properties are selling for asking price, but you can see the noticeable decline on closed prices. Crazy. So this should actually give you a pretty good idea of what's happening in the market. And I hope this actually helps you figure out how to present to your sellers, people you want to get listings from, and let them know what the market is doing, so that way they can actually make informed decisions and realistic decisions. So that way you don't have to wait in the market for too long or have the house listed for too long. Because as you know, the longer the house is listed for, the lower the prices are, and you're going to have to come down significantly to get those discounts, to get those homes moved, and have a happy seller and a happy buyer. But that is common for this time of the year. However, we've seen what's going on in the entire economy. Things are changing significantly, and you have to really keep your eyes open for what's going on. With that said, that's all for today's episode of the Appraisal IQ podcast. We hope you found this discussion valuable. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll explore more exciting topics in the world of real estate. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to reach out to us on our website or social media channels. Until next time, this is Orlando Masis, Chief Appraiser at Appraisal IQ, signing off. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.